Welcome, friends. We are your hosts, Sandy and Wade, baby best friends turned husband and wife and business partners.
This podcast is for the dreamers, the movers and shakers, and those who seek to attract their dream life.
Strap in. Getting magnetic in 3, 2, 1.
Like attracts like. If you see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. You just decide what it's going to be, who you're going to be, how you're going to do it. And then from that point, the universe is going to get out your way.
This moment in time, this is your time to rise.
So if you're anything like me, you may get to a point in your business where you feel like you need some one-on-one coaching, you need some accountability. Maybe you're ready to level up in your business and you're really hard on yourself and you feel like you need someone outside of you to help hold you accountable, to help you see those blind spots, to help you do that deep inner work and figure out like what are those limiting beliefs, what is holding you back, and just to help you overall blossom and become a better version of you. So a few months ago, I actually hired Kayla Kraft with Mommy Millionaire. I've been working with her and she has an incredible program called the Millionaire S Society. So if you're an entrepreneurial mom who needs a high-level coach to finally break through without paying the high-level fees, this could be a program for you. So because you guys are loyal listeners of our podcast, Mommy Millionaire is offering you a 25% off discount on your first month of the Millionaire S Society. So head over to mommymillionaire.co/Critides, CRITIDES, that's mine and Wade's last name, to sign up and take advantage of this amazing offer. Trust me, you're going to be thrilled that you did this. We are overjoyed to have one of our dear friends and business partners on, Haley Duncan. Haley is a mom of 3, a wife. She's the top 1% of her network marketing company. And she has truly been a mentor to Wade and I and become such a dear friend. And we met like in a way I never would have thought. And so I am so excited to have her on here. I have to share when I first met Haley, I was like, she's kind of a wet blanket. Like she doesn't have like a huge personality. Like we're very, very different, but I think it's great because we actually balance each other out. And so Haley, really, you'll see, she brings a very calm energy about her, but so much wisdom too. And so I'm excited to welcome our dear friend, Haley. Hello.
Hi, guys.
So
Thanks
happy
for
you're
having
here.
me on.
So excited.
Your first time being on a podcast, right?
This is my first time, and you guys are so inspiring, and I just love you guys. I got to watch your journey from when you were newly married to where you are today, and I'm so proud of what you guys do. And I've always said there should be a Sandy and Wade reality show, so this is as close as it gets, I guess.
So good. Okay, so before we dive in, and for everyone listening, this is going to be a really, really inspiring episode. I want you to answer, Haley. Can you just tell us, we love asking our guests, what does getting magnetic mean to you?
Okay. Actually, I love this getting magnetic. And what it reminds me of is a visualization that I did, starting my business. I learned about visualization. I did not know about it prior. So I started my business 8 years ago in network marketing. And I just visualized this U-shaped magnet. And I don't know where I got it from, but I visualized this. I was a U-shaped magnet and I would literally see myself as this magnet. And I would see people being drawn to me, like motivated, successful, driven people connecting to my magnet, like literally getting sucked onto my magnet. I would visualize like money getting sucked onto my magnet, abundance, like time freedom, like all these things that I craved in life, community, friendships. And so getting magnetic, that's what it means to me, which is kind of crazy that I was visualizing that. So maybe I have to manifest that name.
I think
love
you
it.
Did.
Absolutely.
Let's do a quick this or that so our audience can get to know you. You want to kick it off, babe?
Yes. Okay. So Haley and I've realized are similar in a lot of ways, but different too. And this was such a funny example. I have to ask you this or that. Okay. Haley, just answer which one you'd rather do. Work hard or relax?
I'm all about that self-care. So heck yes to relax.
Love it. That literally comes from a quote one time. Haley, we were doing a business meeting and Haley's like, I booked us massages. I'm like, I thought we were here to like meet and work and business plan. And she's like, wait, I create while I rest. And I was like, whoa. And it was kind of like funny. I was like laughing at her, but at the same time, I was like, she's onto something there too. Like there is space for creation and for abundance in stillness. And so I'm adopting that, create while I relax mentality.
And I'll add on to that. Like, I know when to work hard. And I've always been that, like, I'm like, okay, this is the time to put in the work. And then I know when it's time to just enjoy.
That's true. You really know how to turn it on. I've seen the switch. Okay. Amalfi Coast or Swiss Alps?
Oh, the Amalfi Coast. For sure. I get cold very easily. So
same. I do not like being cold. It's all about tropical vibes.
Tropical. These two are the tropical. Yep. All right. Yacht or jet?
You know, I would say jet at first, but now I actually heard your last podcast and I was like, okay, I'm thinking the yacht life like looks pretty sweet. Like I've never been to the Greek islands. Like I'm thinking that I might have to just do both. I feel
like, yeah, you're a both person for sure.
Yeah, you can say both.
I've never, one thing on my bucket list is I've never been on a private jet. Have you guys?
One time.
Okay. So, well, I don't know if is that the one you booked that one time that you didn't know?
Yeah.
It was an accident.
That doesn't count. Yeah. That doesn't count. No, like a real legit, like you, like, you know, the pilot. So that's on my bucket list. Like you got to fly private for sure. Like,
let's do it together for the first time.
Let's just buy a jet together. Yeah. Let's just own a jet together. We'll split it 50-50. Okay. All right. This is a funny one for me visualizing. Wet Republic pool party or nightclub for Haley Duncan?
I'm all about the nightclub.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sandy and I are pool
party. I for sure
party.
thought you were going to say pool party. No. You look banging in a bikini.
In the daytime, I feel like I'm socially awkward and I can't really day drink. So I'm all about like the dark club and then I'll do my crazy weird dances and no one will really know.
Love it.
You have the weirdest dances.
The funniest, the best. Okay, exercise or sleep?
I'm a sleeper. I need my 8 hours for sure. And I know I feel great when I do exercise, but if I'm not sleeping, life isn't happy for anybody involved.
I think I'm the exact same way. Maybe it's because we're both Aries. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Sweet or savory?
Oh, you know, sweet. I feel like you guys can answer all these except for maybe the nightclub one.
Yeah.
We kind of know, but we want everyone else to know you.
I have the biggest sweet tooth and it's bad.
Okay, massage or facial?
Massage.
Love it. Okay, last one. Introvert or extrovert?
So I'm for sure an introvert, but once again, just like I like to rest, I know how to be extroverted. So when I am in a situation where I need to be around people, and I love reading books on how to be a people person, because it's so important to connect. And so I try not to just label myself as an introvert, because we're going to get into that a little bit later, but like the stories you tell yourself, right? And so I'm definitely introvert at heart, but I know how to turn it on and connect with people. And then I just need to, after that, like unplug and recharge alone. So I think it's so powerful knowing who you are and, you know, what fuels you, what doesn't, but then knowing that that doesn't have to be your total identity, right? Like you can change that and you can change the story you're telling yourself.
I love that. Yeah, because I, see you, it's right. It's not good to label, right? But as maybe more introverted and need to recharge. But again, you know when to work hard, you know when to turn it on, you know when to connect with people. And I think one of your biggest strengths that I've realized is you are relatable. Like you aren't that person that like, oh my gosh, they're so incredible. I could never, ever do what they do. You do amazing things, but you do it in a way that inspires people. Like, I relate to Haley in this way. I believe I can do that too. And that is like one of your superpowers. What I also see is like, you know when to speak with conviction and be like, you would be amazing at this. You would be amazing at that. And it's just like, you speak with such conviction, like you're definitely going to be doing this. And all of a sudden the person's like, yeah, definitely. Whatever you say, let's do it. So with that said, give us a little background into your story, your journey. I know we want to touch on like, okay, how have you become a magnet to everything you have in your life, to the success that you've achieved thus far, but like a little backstory on like, where did Haley come from to get to where you are today?
Okay. So I love that you guys know me and you know my journey, but I love that I get to share it. And like Wade said, if I can share my story and it can inspire someone to be like, okay, if that chick can do it, I can do it too. Like, that's what I'm all about. I always tell myself, like, I have no ego. I want to be that person that people can look to and just think, you know, I've beaten the odds, right? I've reached the top 1% of my company and I didn't have all the things you think you should have. So that's what my hope is for, you know, being on here and being interviewed today, is that you listen to this and you're like, okay, like I'm inspired, because I could resonate with her and I can relate to her. So my story started, well, obviously when I was born in 1980. I'm 41 years old, getting up there. I'm not getting any younger, but I always had big dreams and big goals. And I remember being really, when people would say like, what do you want to do when you grow up? I would say, I want to be rich. And so that's kind of odd for a little kid to say, but we didn't have a lot of money growing up. We had a lot of love, but not a lot of money. And I just knew like, I want more, like I want more for my life. And so when I had these big goals and big dreams, it really was centered around like, how can I make money? It wasn't about how I can make a difference or how I can make an impact. So that was really my thinking, is like looking up like, oh, I could become a doctor, and this was my younger years. But like I said, I had those big aspirations. And so I went to college and I just thought like everyone else, right? You go to school, I got an MBA and I just continued this path of like, the more schooling I have, I'll get like the better job and then I'll make this great income. And that's what I was taught. But I also had this entrepreneurial side and I loved knowing that there were things out there you could do that you were in charge and you could be in control of your time and your income. And I worked, in college, like at Marie Callender's, I ate lots of pies. But I remember thinking, gosh, I suck as an employee. Like I would see these other people like go over and above. And I was like, wait, why are they doing that? Like we get paid nothing, But when I worked for myself and when I started my own businesses, like I was the hardest worker. So I saw that in myself where I wasn't this employee mentality. Like I wasn't going to go over and above for a boss, but I would go over and above if it was going to be building something for me in my future. So I was all about entrepreneurial, like high risk, but I didn't know what that looked like for me. I didn't know what my purpose was. I didn't know what my passion was. I kind of thought like, gosh, maybe I don't have a passion. Like I'm not a good singer. I'm not a good dancer. Like I can't, I'm not a good artist. Like what could I do that is my passion, but that can be entrepreneurial at the same time? And so I started just having life kind of like create my path I think we interviewed for jobs, right? We let life kind of take over our path. And what happened was I got into real estate and I became a broker. And it was kind of the best of both worlds where you had no cap to your income, right? And you could work as hard and you were your own boss. And so I really thought like, maybe this is it for me. Maybe this is what I've been looking for. And I got into commercial real estate and I had a lot of success, but I also felt this lack of like purpose. And I met my husband and I would, he's the exact opposite of me. He was all about making an impact and your purpose and doing something you feel fulfilled with. And he doesn't care about money. And so when we met, he slowly started, I guess imprinting on me his way of thinking. He's like, you can do something that you feel good about and you love. And it's not all about money. And I kind of imprinted a little bit on him. We kind of met in the middle where you can make an income and make an impact. And that's truly where you feel that fulfillment, right? That as humans, we are just searching for, and we are put here, I think, to feel like we can make a difference in someone else's life. So I remember learning, real estate, I like it. I'm having success, but is this really my calling? Is this really what I'm meant here to do? And so I just had this open mind and I was like searching and wanting, entrepreneur. I wanted to make a difference. I wanted to be. Not only that, I remember just thinking how cool to be surrounded by people that were like-minded as far as they had big goals, they had big dreams, they could inspire me. Like I was searching for that community and it came wrapped up in a crazy package called network marketing. And when I was introduced to network marketing, that's where I was in my life. I was searching for something. And I always say like, sometimes you're looking for something and it's looking for you. And that's all about the manifestation and law of attraction, right? And so the universe, it puts it in front of you and then your job is just to act. And so even though I was scared, I acted. I joined my very first network marketing company and it was everything I was looking for. And really quickly into starting that journey, even though I wasn't everything that I thought you needed to be success, I saw others that were, I could relate to. And I thought if they can do it, I can do it too. And I had a strong why. I was newly married, starting a family, and I wanted to have success for them because what it meant for them was that they would have a present mom, right? They would have a happy mom. We wouldn't be stressed financially. And it just really meant choices for us. So that was my why. And I think when you're starting anything, just getting really clear on like why you're doing it and what it could mean for you, that is when you really see that you can do anything when you have a strong why.
I love your story. So that was what, 8 years ago?
That was 8 years ago. Yeah.
So with the law of attraction, which you've taught me so much about, and just manifestation and like the power of having a vision and being rooted in your why, like, did you have that all along? Or I don't know, like, how did that grow? How did that develop?
Yeah. What tools like did you use to grow in your success, in your business, in life?
So prior to, in college, they don't tell you like make a vision board. And so I was very like book smart, I guess you could say. Like I got straight A's, but like my parents and my family, like they were not wealth builders. They did not have this money mindset, and they did not, like I said, we had so much love and I had so much growing up, but that was not the strength of like what my parents taught me. And so, where do you learn that kind of stuff, right? If it's not taught in school and it's not something in your family and you're not surrounded by it. So I didn't know about any of this my whole life. But I do know that when I look back at my life and I see what I created, our thoughts and our energy create a reality. And so I had created a great life and I didn't even know about the law of attraction. And I realized like I daydreamed. And so I didn't call it visualization, but like if I went on a run, like that whole time I was daydreaming about, what I wanted, like before I was married, like what I wanted my husband to look like what would be an incredible life and where we would live. And then before I got pregnant, like what exactly I wanted, I wanted 2 girls and a boy, like I would just daydream. And I feel like that is just so powerful because I was in my mind, like my mind thought that was happening. That was reality, right? I had emotion. Like I would just get so emotional thinking about like my future baby and their names. And then I also visualized like having a business and having something that I felt fulfilled in. And so all of those things were things I was doing prior to me knowing about these concepts. I do have met people that are like, gosh, I grew up knowing about these, and I'm so jealous, but you can start anywhere. You can start today. And so prior to starting my business, I remember not knowing about, personal growth books and not knowing about affirmations and not knowing about visualization and vision boards and kind of thinking it was weird, honestly. Like I was like, wait, what are affirmations? Like, and I heard about this through some of the network marketing professionals, like how to grow your business. Of course, I started a business and I wanted it to be successful. So I dove into all of that, those trainings and people that had success. And they talked about these affirmations and, what do you say to yourself? And in the beginning, it didn't make sense. This is one thing where Sandy and I didn't even believe in Santa Claus when I was a kid. I was like, there's no way that guy is fitting through the chimney. Like, why do people believe this? This is just not probable. Like I was like 4. And so I need proof. Like I need to see like, it didn't make sense to me that telling yourself like I am a sponsoring magnet or I'm, powerful or like all these things, how did that work in real life? Like, what did that mean? Like, how did that equate to success? And so that's when I started diving into books like The Law of Attraction, and they really talked about the science behind it and, how it actually works. And so when I realized like everything is energy and what we put out there, we actually attract back to us. That's when I opened my mind to like, this is science. Like, this isn't something that you believe. Like, it's true. It's like facts. And that's when I started getting really excited about it. Not only excited, but it really gave me the sense of how powerful I was in designing a life. And when you feel powerful about designing your life, you're no longer a victim of your circumstances. Like, you are in control. And that in itself is just like the best feeling. So no, I did not read any books prior to 8 years ago, but now I've been on a huge personal growth journey. And I now train a lot about manifestation, and which is crazy, right? Thinking that would be what my people would know me for, is like how to manifest your goals and dreams. Like I'm all about that.
I remember when you first told me, I came to you early on in my business, maybe 6 months or so in, maybe 3 months in, I don't know. And I was like, what do I need to like listen to or read that's going to help me believe that I'm capable of having a life like you? Like, how do I don't see myself, like I see it and it's like this amazing dream, but like for it to actually happen is like very hard for me to believe. I couldn't make the connection. And you were like, you need to listen to The Law of Attraction. And I remember listening to it in the car, like driving to San Diego one day. And I was like, did I download the right book? Like, I was like, this is so weird. Like, it was not connecting for me. I like wasn't totally ready for it. I listened to it, but it was definitely like over my head. And the more and more I like looked into it and was open-minded to it, I listened to it again like a year later. I was so open to it. I was like a magnet to it. And now it's like one of my favorite things. And I really think timing is everything. And you have to be ready to receive and to learn and to know that you really are. Like, your life is a physical manifestation of your thoughts. We have complete control. If you're in an amazing spot, congratulations, you did that for yourself. If you're in a spot where you're like, shit, how did I get here? You did that as well. And the cool thing is you have control, so you can change that. But yeah, for all the listeners, if you've never listened to The Law of Attraction by Abraham Hicks, or I should say Esther Hicks, Jerry Hicks.
I think it's Abraham.
I think it's Abraham Hicks. You'll understand what we're talking about when you listen. Highly, highly recommend.
There's a lot of great books, though, if you just type in law of attraction, that is really going to show you the science if you're like me and you're like, I want to see how this works. And I know that like my goal has always been to make these concepts like practical, relatable, and easy to follow and simple. Mm-hmm. So it's not something like out there, that you're like, I don't get that. And so I love to just knowing like you can read books and learn about all this. I love reading books that are the authors are like energy that I want to be like, right? Because you're almost, when you're reading these books, like your energies are aligning, which is really cool to think about. And so you consume content of people that are in the vibration you want to be in, which is really powerful. But I'm all about taking action too with manifestation. Like, yeah, we can like read all the books and we can do all the visualization, but really the action piece is where we have nothing without the action piece. Like we do live in a physical world, right? So we got to take action. And so that was the part that like the two together, some people are taking action without all the mindset, right? So mindset plus activity, unstoppable. Like that equals unstoppable. So I'm all about that.
I love that. And backtracking even too, like some people are like, okay, how do I start manifesting, or what is the law of attraction or anything? Like if you listen to Haley's story, she was doing it and she was visualizing before she even really knew what it was. So it's not like you have to sit there in a meditative state and visualize and like go through all these practices. Now that does help, of course, but she was just going on a run and daydreaming about what her life would look like. And the more you think that, and she would attach emotion to it and get emotional over like, gosh, this is what my family's going to be like, and my success in my future house or whatever this is. And like, and when you attach the emotion to the thought and it's a repeated thought over and over, it starts to plant that seed into your subconscious mind, into your conscious mind, and you start to see opportunity to take action towards it. So it's like coming back to, there is the science behind it. It's a little woo-woo, but it is attached with science. And so Haley, I think I love what you said, because the law of attraction, the word attraction has the word action in it. And you're right. We do live in a physical world. There is an element of action. Now, all those thoughts, all that mindset work is kind of the primer for us to take action, for us to feel good about taking action. But how did you implement that? So beyond the law of attraction, how did you start taking action? Like, let's just dive into that.
One of the books that was really opened my mind, and it's, to me, the most powerful books I've ever read, is called The Success Principles. And it's something that Jack Canfield, it totally changed everything for me. I would say it was the one thing that changed my life, that book. And I read it for the first time 8 years ago. And I remember so many things in there that he talked about, but a big one was like acting as if, like, who do you want to be? How would that person act? And for me, I wanted to be successful in my network marketing business. And when I saw other people that were successful, like they were really confident and they were great speakers. And I wasn't a confident speaker. Like I had a fear of public speaking. And so I was like, okay, I want to act as if I am a success, I'm the top 1% of my company. And so what did that look like for me? That looked like joining a Toastmasters. And if you don't know what Toastmasters is, it's nationwide. I think it's global actually. And it's all about helping with public speaking skills and communication. And, some people, it's scary to do something like that. And so I'm all about like pushing yourself out of your comfort zone. If something's scary, do it. So I joined a Toastmasters group. And by the end of it, I was in a contest and I got second place. I love it. I have an award that says like second place. But I have to always say there was only 2 of us in the competition. I'm still proud. Like I have a freaking medal, And so I'm proud of that. Like it was just, I stood up in front of everyone and they gave me a table topic to speak on. And I won second out of 2. So that gave me confidence to act as if, right? And so I think when you think of manifestation, what does that person do that you want to be? And when it becomes your identity, and it's not, you get the title and then it becomes your identity. But when you act as if and it becomes your identity, that is when the manifestation happens. That's when it becomes simple. And it could even be, and Sandy and I both say like, our identity is not like working out. Like we are not, but we could switch that. Like we are in control. We could just say, we're going to start working out until it becomes our identity. Then it's like brushing your teeth, right? And so it's all about really figuring out like, what do you want in life? And what does that person do every day? Like, how does that person act? And becoming that person.
I think that's awesome. That is such a great transition into, like our life is a physical reality, a physical manifestation of what we think about, what our identity is, what we do daily, what our habits are. It's really a culmination of all those things. And where I think all of us connected even deeper was, Haley mentored Sandy when she started her network marketing business. I jumped in a few months later. Haley was a mentor to me too. They both were, Sandy and Haley. And we grew to a point where we're like, okay, we've achieved a certain level of success in this. And I think anyone in life, when you achieve success in something, it's like, figure out how'd you do it, make that a system, and then give that away to people, give the blueprint away. So I remember Haley, Sandy, and I were on a flight, and I think we've talked about this before on the podcast. I forget, but we're on a flight to a leadership retreat in Oklahoma City that we go to annually. And we start talking about, again, when you're around these people, you start talking about your dreams, your visions, your goals for your life. You're forced to think bigger almost. And we start talking about like, how else can we help people? Like, what else can we do to serve the world? What do we know best? And we started thinking about like, a lot of people ask, okay, how'd you get to where you are? How'd you get to the top 1%? And Haley, I remember asked Sandy, like, what are other dreams you have? Like, what are other things beyond what we do together? And Sandy said, I've always wanted to create a journal, like I think like a gratitude journal or something. And Haley was like, oh my gosh, me too. In the back of my mind, I'm like, I've been thinking this as well. And like, so a business was born right there on a plane. I want to dive into that, like how the 90-Day Habits brand came to be, and kind of dive into that. You want to add anything, Sandy?
Yeah, this was literally something that started on like Southwest napkins or whatever airline we were on.
Southwest Airlines napkin.
But we wanted to create, like I was reflecting on everything Haley had taught me to that point. I was probably like a year or maybe a little bit over a year into my business. And I was like, she has taught me so much about daily gratitude, about affirmations, about the importance of having a vision board, about visualization, about the law of attraction, about meditation, like literally miracle morning, everything. So much of that was inspired by Haley teaching me like about these habits and about making them routine. And I could take the time to duplicate what she taught me to people individually, but that would take so much time. So I'm like, wow, like what if we created a tool? What if we created like a workbook, something that people could use to help them know, like, what do I do every single day to build strong habits? And it was funny because I had a list of like bucket list items that I want to do. And so did Haley. And Haley said, like, create a daily IPA journal, an income producing activity journal for network marketers. And I was like, should we do this together? And so literally on this like 2-hour flight, the three of us are sitting in a row and we like are whipping out napkins and being like, oh, we could have a section for mindset. What if we had a section for relationship building? What if we had a section? And then we're like, wait, a lot of people that start their network marketing business have a full-time job, or they're in school, or they're busy like taking care of kids and they don't have time to do like an 8-hour day. What if we chunked it down into like an hour a day? What if it was 60 minutes of like daily focus and we chunked it down into 3 20-minute sections of like the most essential things? And so we were all just like shooting the shit back and forth, like, oh, what about this? What about this? And that's kind of like how it was born.
Yeah. And so going back to me being relatable, I'm just a pretty normal person, but almost to the extreme. Like if you're a type A, I'm a type Z. So I'm a type Z. And my nature is to not want structure. Like I'm free flowing. I like to take the day as it comes. You have a kid, you know that, yeah, sometimes your kid is acting crazy because they don't know what's next for them. Like they don't know what's going to happen next. So when you give them that structure, they start to enjoy that and like that and behave better. So we all need structure in our lives, and I push against structure. And so this is where I created these systems within my business and how I became successful. And I also, I love self-care. I love to relax. So how do I stay motivated? Right. And so that was another thing, like keeping a routine, having structure, like that's how you stay motivated, because you don't wake up in the morning and just say, I'm not motivated, brush my teeth, right? No, it's routine. You wake up and you go grab your toothbrush and you brush your teeth. It doesn't matter if you're motivated or not. Like that is your routine. That is what you do. And so now with this journal, it's everything that I was doing throughout my business, but it wasn't organized at all. And I wasn't able to pass it on to anyone to help teach and train them. So we put it all together, and it really is, it's like how to stay motivated, how to create structure, how to create a routine, what to do in your day, so when that happens and you know exactly what to do in your day, you can set these goals for yourself, and you can know, like, I can get this done, if you have kids, like before the kids wake up. So you can set aside 60 minutes, whether that be at night or in the morning. How cool to feel accomplished and know that you can focus on that for an hour in the morning and you're done, And so if you are wanting structure, wanting motivation, or if you're like me, a super procrastinator, it's all about, we just read this great book called Win in the Dark. And it's all about getting the bus rolling. So when I don't feel like doing something for my business, I know it's just getting the bus rolling. And so what does that mean? It means grabbing my journal and starting to write in it and just being like, okay, it literally has a checkoff list. Like, who loves a checkoff list? I do. So when I get that bus rolling, I know now that's the easy part, right? The hard part is just starting. That's in anything in life. Like, the hard part is just getting your butt to the gym or, getting your business off the ground, making that first reach out. So this came about as something that I was teaching and using, but it wasn't able to duplicate, So I love that we have the same vision and we are able to both come together and create this, because it truly has helped thousands upon thousands now. And it just was something that it came out of just really for us, right? We were like, we need something for us and our teams. And because I was very unorganized.
I love, this is a perfect example of an idea or a thought becoming reality and turning into a physical manifestation. The thought of, how do we help other people? When you gain a certain amount of success, people ask you, what'd you do? I want to pick your brain. Here's this, here's that. It's almost impossible to personally respond to everyone. So when you can create a blueprint or a system for success, or write down the tools or put it all in one place and then give it away, that's what this became. And it was so cool to see, because it was that it could have just been an idea. It could have stayed in Haley and Sandy's head just as an idea. And for most people, unfortunately, you've probably heard the quote, the richest, the wealthiest place on earth is a graveyard, because most people go to their grave with their ideas. They don't take the action on it. But the idea turned into the Southwest Airlines napkin, turned into, okay, this doesn't have to be perfect. Let's start messy. Let's start sloppy. Let's just start writing down, okay, a system for success, fundamentals, foundation of building a business, and then building those daily habits. And then, okay, most people are busy. They might have an hour a day. How can we condense this into 1 hour a day? And then taking the business sense, businesses generally work, life a lot of times works in 90-day cycles and seasons, right? Okay, let's go over a 90-day cycle to build those habits, to get the bus rolling, like Haley said, and to implement kind of what we've done throughout our businesses. And it became a reality. We published it on Amazon. And like Haley said, yeah, it's helped tens of thousands of people so far. And now our vision is raising even more. We're like, we can help 1 million people with this. Like, how amazing is this? And so what's so cool is that idea, when you just start to take action on it, it can come to life and it can become, and you never know where it's going to go, but it'll follow your vision you have for it. So it's been amazing. It's been something so fun to do together, and I'm excited for where it's going. And we'll put in the show notes where you get linked up, especially, if you're a network marketer, to the 90-Day Habits Journal. But to pivot to circle back and round it up here, Haley, few questions before we end. What we like asking this, we like, beyond small talk, what are you most excited for in life right now?
I'm a mom of 3. And so it does take time to really think about that, because sometimes I'm just excited that we made it through the day. I'm like, yes. But I feel like this year is where I am manifesting just wealth. Like, this is my year for wealth. And when you have it, what you focus on grows, right? And so in previous years, it has not been wealth. And so I literally ordered a bunch of books all about building wealth. I feel like I'm attracting people that have built wealth. And so I'm excited for creating wealth, because it's not just money, right? It's what you do with the money. And I want to be able to give back more. I don't want to have any financial pressure. I want to have choices. I want to have, the yacht and the jet. And I feel like I was meant for that lifestyle. And it's okay to say that and love that and be about that, And so that is what I'm most excited about this year, is just knowing that this is my focus and we have 6 months left of the year. I am that procrastinator that likes to wait till the last half of the year to really get stuff done. And so that's what I'm excited about, finishing out the year and just looking back and be like, wow, look at what I've created this year towards my wealth goals.
So good. I want to touch on too, we didn't talk about this at all. Can you tell everyone a little bit about your pageants? Like, you had a vision several months ago where you were like, okay, I'm 41 years old and I've always been kind of intrigued by this, but I want to show my kids it's not too late to go for your dreams. So walk us through, You've been in 2 pageants now. Take us a little bit through that vision, why you did that, and where you're going from here with that.
Yes, because of just what I've done in the personal growth arena through, really, I do feel like network marketing is a personal growth business. It just is. And through that, I realized like every year I want to push myself and do something way out of my comfort zone. And so at the beginning of every year, I decide, and I've only done this is my 3rd year now. So I would encourage everyone to do this. I mean, it doesn't need to be the beginning of the year. Like this is the last half of the year. So do it in the last half of the year and the beginning of the year. Do 2 things a year. But I decided, something that would totally push me out of my comfort zone is being in a pageant. And it sounds funny sometimes to think about, but these women, like I grew up watching these women, Mrs. USA or Miss America, all the things. And I just admired them as a kid and always thought like I could never do that. Right. And I'm like, why? Why can't I do that? So I decided to basically, it was like 11 at night and I heard about this Mrs. California pageant and it's for married women and it's all about what they're doing and how they're making a difference. And I love that once I dove into pageants and stuff, it really is about women up-leveling themselves and really making a difference in their community. And I want to be surrounded by that, right? I always want to be surrounded by really strong, powerful women. And so when I did my very first Mrs. California pageant, I was so nervous. It was so out of my comfort zone, but I felt so good knowing that I'm continuing to grow and learn. And I do think we are here to always learn and grow. We never stop. And that is what fuels us, right? And so I learned so much. I met incredible people. I got first runner-up. Sandy was there and she's like
screaming my head off. Yeah, I'm crying.
And she was like, you won in my eyes. I'm like, that's all that matters. Like I won the crown in Sandy's eyes. Like that is all that matters to me. Like, who cares? So now it's just opened my eyes up to like, we can do anything we set our minds to. It doesn't matter what it is. Maybe pageants isn't your thing, but what is your thing? What could you challenge yourself to do? What scares you? And I know in the previous year, it was learning tennis, just something that like you maybe have on your list of things to do that you put off every year. Maybe it's taking a cooking class. We have one life to live and let's freaking live an amazing life. Like, let's do this.
So I want to know, are you going to do any more pageants? Have you decided?
Yeah, part of me is like wanting to continue because it really is like this inner child for me of wanting to continue because I didn't win the crown. And sometimes I know previous, I would be like, okay, well, I tried and I put myself out there and I didn't get it. Right. And so you really have this sense of like, it's almost like you're protecting yourself. You're not going to put yourself in a situation where you could put yourself out there again and you could potentially in front of everyone, lose. Like that's not a good feeling. And so I know like I need to continue, but it's still a struggle. Like I'm a human, just like all of us, and it goes back to just really going back to those limiting beliefs, of as what happened as a kid, when I didn't get something. I tried out for cheerleading as a kid and I didn't make the team. And I just thought like, well, never going to do that again. It's one of those things that like, I need to break through that because I did it as a child. And I wish I could have gone back to that 7th grader, and said, it doesn't matter that you didn't make the team. You just need to get back up and you need to practice. You need to try it again. Like, I wish I could have told myself that. So why am I not telling myself that as an adult? Right. And so that's kind of where I'm at right now is like, I feel like I'm actually healing my inner child through pageants, which might sound kind of crazy, but
no,
I know you need to do it. But yeah, I don't know if I'm ready yet, but I definitely know that I need to do it. Like I need to.
To me, you're Miss Planet Universe of all the galaxies. So
yes, we're so blessed to know you and have you as a friend and as a business partner, and everything in between. Our lives are so aligned and intertwined, and it's a beautiful thing in our life. And for people who want more of Haley or to connect with you, like where's the best place to connect with you?
You can find me on Instagram at Haley, Haley. It's just like the comment, Duncan, DUNCANENVP.
Got it. Yeah, we'll drop that in the show note links. Well, Haley, thank you so much for coming on, inspiring others, empowering others with just your relatability and your story and your vision for life. We're so grateful for you.
Love you so much. I was so wrong to think that you were a wet blanket.
Well,
And I want to share too, for anyone listening that is interested in getting their hands on their own copy of a 90-day journal, you can go to our website, 90dayhabits.co, and use the discount code gettingmagnetic15 to get 15% off your very own journal. And this fall, we actually have some new products coming as well. So if you are in the network marketing space, if you are a entrepreneur, if you are in any sort of sales position where you're wanting to grow your mindset, you're wanting to have structure, you're wanting to have clarity and focus and help build strong daily business habits, you absolutely need to get your own copy. So thank you for everyone listening. Haley, do you have anything else on your heart you'd like to share?
thank you guys so much for having me on, and let's manifest the crap out of 2021.
Yes, let's do it. Thank you, Haley. And for those of you out there listening, if you got value out of this episode, connect with Haley and screenshot just right now, wherever you are. If you're listening on your phone, screenshot this episode, share it on social media, tag Haley, tag Getting Magnetic, tag Sandy and I. And don't forget, you guys are the reason we do this show, to add value to you guys, to bring people on from different, walks of life who have found success in certain areas and to share their success story and success tips and secrets, right? And if you're finding value out of this podcast, this runs on reviews and ratings. That's what keeps it going. So if you can go over to Apple Podcasts and throw us a 5-star review, leave a rating, we'd be more than grateful for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Till next time. Only those that can see the invisible can do the impossible.
So remember, you are magnetic.